I'm going to be responding to prompt 1. So it asks, what are your thoughts on the character Tartuffe? He's supposed to be framed in the beginning of the play as like a noble man who's like the Orgon's right-hand man, but I knew from the beginning that something was off with him because Orgon's brother Cleante, and I'm butchering all these names, I'm so sorry. Orgon's brother Cleante in Act 1 Scene 5 says, "Men are generally odd creatures, they never keep up to true nature, the bounds of reasons are too narrow for them," which made me think like, okay, we need to be cautious of this guy because this is what we're saying about him, like foreshadowing. Wise. The next question was, how does Orgon treat Tartuffe in the first 3 acts? Explain how they meet. So Orgon and Tartuffe meet in the church because, like, consequentially, Tartuffe is, like, praying super hard next to him and, like, showing how devoted he is. It was on purpose because he's actually a con man, but we don't know that yet. So Orgon sees this poor man praying with such vigor in the church, and he's, like, so taken, like, it impacts him so emotionally that like he takes this guy in and like helps him. So Orgon thinks this guy like walks on water for the first 3 acts of the play. He thinks he's like the best guy he's ever met, but he's just blind to it. I mean, his whole family, everybody else in the play is like, this guy is a con man, and he just like won't hear it. And that goes with the next question, which is, when do Orgon's feelings change towards him? And it's, he does not believe anything anyone's saying, and then his wife is finally like, hide under this table, Tartuffe is going to try to seduce me and you're going to see it. And Tartuffe does try to seduce Orgon's wife. He tries to embrace her, and that's when Orgon pops out and he's like, whoa. And he says in Act 4, Scene 6, right after he sees all of this with his own eyes, he says, "An abominable fellow, I vow. I can't recover myself. This perfectly stuns me." So that's him just like, oh my god, crazy revelation about the person that Tartuffe is. And the last part was to describe the relationship between Orgon and Tartuffe in the last act, and then talk about the author's message in the play. So Orgon and Tartuffe are like enemies in the last act because Tartuffe is trying to get Orgon's land taken away from him, like everything he owns. But it actually turns out that the police arrest Tartuffe instead because he is a con man and a criminal. So yeah, it's a big contrast from the beginning of the play when they're like best friends. As far as the messaging from the author, I think all of his plays, as we saw from the video that's attached, all his plays kind of try to poke fun at the French bourgeoisie, so there's that. I think the play strives to make fun of the Catholic Church because the only man of God in the play is actually a con man. And I think it kind of asks the viewer to look at themselves and look internally and see if you're a good person. And that is all I have.